This changes everything. The Las Vegas Raiders have quietly named their price for Maxx Crosby, and it's massive. 2 first-round picks and a starting caliber player. That's the number. That's the line in the sand. If you're a real Raiders fan, buckle up, because this conversation just got real. Before we dive into the chaos, smash that like button, share this with your Raider Nation group chats, and subscribe so you never miss the real talk all off-season. Now let's be honest with each other. For months, most of us believed there was no chance Crosby would be moved. Untouchable. The heart of the defense. The embodiment of the silver and black. But the temperature around the league has shifted. National insiders are no longer laughing off the idea. They're saying something very different. If the Raiders get the right offer, they will listen. And here's the question that should hit you right in the chest. If someone puts 2 first-round picks and a legitimate impact player on the table, do you really slam the phone down? Because this isn't about rumors from random accounts. This is coming from respected NFL voices like Tom Pelissero and Ian Rappaport suggesting that a deal could happen quickly if the offer matches the asking price. That changes the tone completely. Let's be clear, nobody in Raider Nation wants to trade Maxx Crosby. He's been here since 2019. He's played through pain. He's given everything to a franchise that hasn't exactly given him consistent playoff football in return. He is the motor of this team. But no player is bigger than the shield, and that's the brutal truth of the NFL. The reported price. 2 first-round picks and a player comparable to what teams usually give up in blockbuster defensive trades. That means this isn't a discount deal. If someone wants Crosby, they have to bleed for it. But here's where it gets complicated. Not every team can realistically make that offer. Some don't even have a first-round pick this year. Others are rebuilding and not one player away. Some are contenders, but their first-round picks would be so late in the draft that you're basically trading an all-pro for lottery tickets in the 20s or 30s. So who actually makes sense? Let's break it down. The Raiders are not sending Crosby inside the AFC West. That's off the table. And don't expect him to land with the San Francisco 49ers either. Rival dynamics matter. Rebuilding teams like the New York Jets or the Arizona Cardinals. They want youth and cap flexibility. Trading multiple firsts for a 28-year-old edge rusher doesn't align with that timeline. So now we're left with contenders. And this is where it gets spicy. The Detroit Lions are fascinating. Pair Crosby with Aiden Hutchinson. That defensive line would be terrifying. But would Detroit give up 2 first-rounders and a core player? Protecting Jared Goff with a strong offensive line is a priority. That price might be too steep. The Chicago Bears could convince themselves they're 1 star away. Caleb Williams showed flashes. They won games. But are they really ready to sacrifice major draft capital? That's debatable. The Los Angeles Rams are always aggressive. They've traded first-round picks like candy before. If one of those picks is a high selection, maybe via another team, now we're talking. That's intriguing. But then there's one scenario that just feels like the kind of shockwave move the NFL lives for. The Philadelphia Eagles. Imagine this, 2 first-round picks and A.J. Brown heading to Las Vegas. Crosby to Philly. On paper, it sounds insane. But step back and think about it. Howie Roseman is known for bold swings. A.J. Brown gives the Raiders a true number 1 receiver instantly. Crosby supercharges the Eagles' defense. Both teams address premium positions. It's the kind of move that, in hindsight, makes you say, "Of course that happened." Question of the day: if the Raiders were offered 2 first-round picks and A.J. Brown for Maxx Crosby, would you accept it? Comment below and don't hold back. Because if you do that deal, suddenly your offense looks very different. You're building around Brock Bowers. You're adding elite wide receiver production. You're stacking draft capital. You're reshaping the timeline of this franchise overnight. But here's the twist. What if the boldest move isn't trading Crosby at all? What if the Raiders flip the script completely? Instead of shipping out their superstar, what if they follow the blueprint of the Houston Texans? Remember what Houston did. They drafted C.J. Stroud. Then they aggressively moved up to get Will Anderson Jr. They didn't wait. They attacked the rebuild. They spent future assets to accelerate the process. So what if Las Vegas keeps Crosby and trades up in the draft to land an elite edge prospect to pair with him? Imagine Crosby on one side and a top 5 talent like Ruben Bain on the other. Or another premier defensive lineman if Bain isn't there. Now you're not rebuilding. You're reloading with violence. Yes, it would cost future firsts. Yes, it would be aggressive. But when your quarterback is on a rookie deal and you have cap space, that's the window. That's when you strike. Would you rather reset the roster with extra picks, or double down and try to build a monster right now? That's the fork in the road. The emotional side of this says keep Crosby at all costs. He's the identity. The tone setter. The guy who never quits. The strategic side whispers something different. If the offer is historic, you at least listen. 2 premium picks and a difference-making player can reshape a franchise faster than one superstar, even one as dominant as Crosby. And let's not ignore another layer to this. Crosby deserves playoff football. He's given this organization everything. Is it about timeline? Is it about wanting to compete now instead of waiting? We don't know for sure. But the smoke around this situation is thicker than it was weeks ago. That's undeniable. There is absolutely a world where this deal happens within days. There's also a world where the Raiders shut the door and extend him, ending all speculation. Right now, it feels like we're on the edge of something major. So here's where Raider Nation stands. Either you cash in and reset the trajectory with a haul that sets up the next 5 years, or you go all in and build around Crosby with aggressive draft maneuvering. There's no safe option. There's only conviction. One final question: if keeping Crosby means sacrificing future flexibility to move up and draft another elite defender, would you mortgage that future? Because that's the real gamble. Spend big to win big. No matter what happens, this isn't a boring offseason. The front office has put a number out there. Teams are calling. The league is watching. And Raider Nation is waiting. Whatever side you're on, one thing is certain: the decision about Maxx Crosby will define the next era of this franchise. Choose wisely.